Hi and welcome to tonight's tutorial. I'm Pam Wrigley and I'm a bridal hairstylist. And tonight I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful kind of smooth, sleek low bun that's got a little bit of texture. And I created this on one of my brides just early this week, actually. She came to me to have a trial run. She's getting married in 2 weeks' time. So it's really, really busy at the moment with lots of brides. So, if you're working as a bridal hairstylist and you've got any questions about any kind of bridal hairstyles that your clients may have asked you to create, just get in touch. Or if you've got any questions about tonight's style, please just pop your questions into the chat box and I will do my best to get back to them straight away. I always seem to get a little bit sidetracked when I start working with the hair. So if I get a bit delayed, don't worry, I will actually get around to answering all the questions. Now, we do, of course, have our online bridal hair course. So if in the kind of course of tonight's tutorial, if there's anything that you can't see, sometimes it's difficult on our live YouTube tutorials to show everything kind of close up and in detail, kind of up close and personal. So we do have our online bridal hair course where you can join me and learn how to create bridal hairstyles from scratch. You don't have to have any previous experience, or you can join us on our kind of monthly tutorial if you're looking, monthly membership, I should say, if you're looking just to kind of refresh your bridal hairstyling skills. But let's get started on tonight's tutorial. I've already done some hair prep and I've just curled this lady's hair with tongs. I used my Babyliss 24mm tong and I've curled everything all over. Now this isn't a particularly curly style, but you'll find that when you curl the hair, it kind of, the kind of prepping the hair for the style makes all the difference when it comes to making the actual styling stage much easier. And the hair, when it's got a bit of movement, a bit of curl and a bit of volume, it kind of tells you where it wants to go. So tonight, this lady has had a little bit of mousse put in. I've curled the hair in kind of fairly chunky pin curls. And I used a little bit of the Infineon hairspray, only a touch when I was curling the hair. And my heat protector, I used the Silhouette Style and Care Lotion. Now, when I did this style for my lady, she wanted a fairly smooth style, so not too much texture. So you don't need a lot of the Elnet, the Infineon, sorry, because that does tend to give the hair, it gives the hair hold and lots of volume, but it can make the hair a little bit too textured. So let's begin. And we're going to start off, you can see the tongs have already given us lots of volume and kind of gorgeousness. So let's just gather this hair together. And you can either kind of bring it together all in one, kind of like that, and pop a grip across the back. If you did want it a little bit piecey, then you can always kind of, you could get little sections, put a little twist, and let me turn her around so you can see a bit better. You can kind of get little individual sections and pop the pin across the back. So that's one section. You could do another one. So it's up to you, it depends on the look that your client wants. So you can do another little twist, pop the pin in the back, and I'm using bobby pins here. You can do another little twist. So if you wanted a little bit piecey, you can, or of course you can just gather everything together because all your clients will be different and not everybody wants those very kind of piecey, sectiony looking styles. So now we've done the back of the hair and we've got our height already here. And I'm just going to make sure this is nice and secure. by popping a bobby pin just across the back, because this is all actually going to be hidden. So we don't need to worry too much about that back combing, sorry, about the bobby pin there being visible. Normally, as you know, if you join me every week, we try and hide every bobby pin as we go along, because it just makes kind of the overall styling process much easier when it comes, so you're not kind of tied to thinking I've got to cover that particular bobby pin. So you could just, I mean, it does actually feel really secure without that there. We could just kind of do another little vertical bobby pin there, and that kind of holds everything in place. And now let's do our side bits. Now we're doing a little bit of shine, so let's use a little bit of our L'Oreal List Control, just a touch, and I'm just going to apply that just to smooth out the hair here at the sides. And everything's been pin curled, so I just curled it using the kind of traditional tong technique. So we do have different tutorials showing you how to curl the hair, and we're going to make sure we cover the part here, so we don't want those to be visible. There's lots of little things you have to consider. You know, you might want to find out now if she wants any little soft bits down at the front, so you could pull out some little wispy bits here if she did. And I usually, what I do, if my lady does want little soft bits down at the front, I would recurl them. So you'll find that when you've curled the hair with the tongs, these little wispy bits might not be quite the right shape. Oh, there we go again. Our firemen are busy in London tonight. Okay, so now let's bring this bit back with a little twist. That might be a little bit too much down. I think I might just leave her with, let's have a look. Let's try that bit on its own first. Would that work? Yeah, I think that does. So bring all the rest back with a little twist, and then we're going to secure this. So I just kind of, as I say, we have lots of tutorials showing you how to curl the hair, whether you're using tongs or straighteners. I did get a question actually today from one of my online students who asked me about, she prefers to curl the hair using straighteners, and she wondered whether it's important, you know, whether there's any kind of value in using different curling techniques if you found a method that really works for you. As I say, she really loves working with straighteners. Well, you'll find that you can create different curls. Let's turn her around there. By using different techniques that you can't necessarily get when you're working with the straighteners. So I like to have the straighteners are great. They're quick. They smooth the hair. They make the hair really glossy and gorgeous. But you can be a bit limited as to the kind of curl that you create. But you might find, you know, you get your kind of favorite go-to kind of products, your favorite go-to prep technique. And actually, another good thing to do is to have, let me just check this 1 second, turn that on silent, because I didn't have it on silent before. What you will do as well is you'll find it's a really good idea. Let's just get this section here, twist, bring that back and secure. So really good idea to have a kind of your go-to products, your go-to curling techniques that you know you can kind of do really quickly when you need to really pull a style out of the bag. You know, if you've got kind of a bridesmaid turns up late, or she just wants, an extra person wants a hair doing. So here I'm bringing everything back, securing it with our bobby pins. It's a good idea to have a go-to kind of low bun that you know you can create really quickly and easily. So let's just smooth this hair out. Now I might put a little bit of the list control in. You could have a little play here if you want to leave bits down. And let's make sure as well that you can see how I brought this section back so the parting is completely hidden. You know, I'm working with a mirror, so it's always a good idea to work with a mirror. Then you can check with your client whether she wants a bit more hair down, whether she wants the hair coming down over her ears. So you can have a little play around. Let's check our questions, I think. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Lovely to see you all as well tonight. Okay, so yeah, your questions could be about tonight's bridal hairstyle. It could be about working as a bridal hairstylist. We're getting all our pins nice and secure. We do have tutorials on our e-learning site where I show you how to secure the hair properly with whether you're using hairpins or bobby pins, because the last thing you want is for any of this to feel loose and kind of a bit wobbly. So you have to make sure that every bobby pin that you put in kind of is nice and secure and it's doing, you know, what it's meant to do. So now we're going to use a little bit of padding, and I'm just going to use one of the donuts that I've kind of cut in half, and they just unravel. So this is one I created a little bit earlier. I've just cut a little piece off and rolled that up, and we're going to pop that on the back of the hair here. Now the padding gives us an anchor, so we can get the hairstyle nice and secure. If your lady has very fine hair, it will also, I might even need to bring this hair in a little bit, actually. It can add bulk if you need volume. You know, if your lady doesn't have very much hair, that isn't a problem for this particular style or for this particular practice head. She's got plenty of hair here. But what the padding does when you don't want volume, it actually gives you an anchor. So it allows you to make sure that your hairstyle is really secure. And at the moment, it's still actually this year still really fashionable for people to have long cathedral length veils. I am working with a couple of brides this year who've had little short kind of blusher veils, so kind of fingertip veils, but most of my brides are having the long veils that kind of go past the length of the dress. So if that's the case, you need to make sure that the hair, they can be quite heavy, especially if they've got any lace or details on them. So you need to make sure that everything is really secure. So now this hairstyle is so easy once you get to this stage. When I did this style on my client, she actually said she wanted volume, a little bit of the list control. This is our L'Oreal list control here that I'm just smoothing a little bit. I've just put a little bit on my hands. I don't know if you can see it just shining a little bit there, and just smoothing that over the surface of the hair. This lady said she didn't want a textured style. She wanted it to be quite smooth and glossy. And what I actually did, she had this long, thick, straight hair. It was quite a bit longer than this practice head. And she wanted the hair to be smooth and glossy with volume. And what I actually did is I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put some heated rollers in. But they actually, in this lady's hair, it wasn't enough. So I needed, because it just came out and it was almost, she did tell me that her hair didn't curl very well, and it really didn't. We got the volume with the rollers, but I actually just curled it with the tongs, pin curled it really super quick. Made her a cup of tea so it had time to cool down in those pin curls. So now I'm just going to get a section of hair here, and I'm just going to lift it. See that? And twist and bring it in. So it's almost like we're creating a little low roll here. So I curled the hair with the tongs, even though I had put the heated rollers in. The heated rollers are great, but they're not necessarily, they don't work for everybody. For this lady's hair, they barely gave it any volume at all. So, you know, it's good to have different things in your kit. So whatever your client, you know, whatever that particular person's hair needs, then you can do the right thing. So now let's twist the hair. Let me just check to make sure you can see. Hi, Louisa. Thank you for joining me. A little bit of twist. And notice I'm not twisting it out because I don't want that hair to stick out at the side. I'm twisting the hair so it comes in. And then I'm simply going to secure that to the padding. You can, if you want to, just use a little pin to prop it up initially, just to hold it in place until you get, you know, you're happy with where it is. Little bobby pin across the back of there. That's it. You can push that pin in if you want to. It'll be hidden. And then that's the end of the hair there. Don't worry about that just yet. And then I'm going to do another piece here and lift this up. So we're just creating a gorgeous kind of little, very quick, super quick low bun. A little bit of Stronghold hairspray. Hair's a little bit short here, but it's going up there. That's it. So this works, this style works whether your lady has long hair or short hair. You just have a slightly bigger kind of, well, I'll show you what you get at the end actually, if she's got longer hair. I'm hoping this lady's got long enough hair to show you what I want to do. So here's the ends of those hair, the hair that we were playing with before. We're going to use that in a minute. So we need those ends. So don't be tempted to kind of just tuck them in. And then literally with this bit, what I'm going to do is lift this up, twist out again. So everything's kind of twisting in this direction. So I'm going to end up with these sections of hair here. She loved this style when we did it. She asked me actually when I was styling her hair. I think she was a little bit anxious because she wasn't quite sure. To be honest, I didn't know what I was going to do. She said, you know, she asked me, what style are you actually going to create? So I said, you know what, I'm just going to see what your hair wants to do first of all. And once you're confident, once you get confident and you start to listen to the hair and see what it kind of wants to do and where it wants to move, you'd be surprised you can create these gorgeous styles quickly and easily. It does take time, so don't worry if you're not at that stage just yet. I'm just going to prop that up. That's it. And then the ends here. So that here we've got all our ends. And let me just pop a bobby pin in here because this, I was kind of thinking when I did this style for this, I was just thinking, right, what am I going to do? How can I finish this style? And basically all I did with these ends, instead of tucking them in, a bit of hairspray. And hers are quite a bit longer, so you could do quite a few twists, but I just kind of created an extra little detail on top of the hair, kind of like this. And she absolutely loved it. So we kind of used the hair to create another little kind of piecey section. Bearing in mind, she had quite a lot more hair, so it was a bit bigger, this kind of chunky twist. Let me just loosen this so it all sits together, and then I'll pop a bobby pin in there. And let me just check my questions again. Let's have a quick look. Louisa, what product do I recommend for long hair that doesn't curl? I used a mousse as a base and it left a horrible residue. What mousse did you use, first of all? What hairspray did you use? Because usually you might have used, so Louisa's just asked me what products I would use on long hair that doesn't want to curl. Usually I put a mousse in the hair, blow dry the hair very quickly, just a quick blow dry, and then I would start styling. That mousse gives a little bit of extra staying power, holding power for the curl, but you have to be careful not to put too much in. And there are some mousses that leave this kind of, that make the hair look a little bit dull. So if you can find one and kind of lifeless. So if you can find a mousse that gives a bit of shine and gloss as well as hold, that's kind of what you're looking for. And it's kind of getting the balance right, making sure that her hair is clean. If the hair is remotely greasy, then forget it. It needs to be, because you're kind of piling product on top of dirty hair. So if somebody's hair is kind of, because some people will leave their hair, that, if they think it's better to have the hair slightly dirty to style it. If that's the case, don't put mousse in, because it will just make the hair, just going to pop a bobby pin across the back of there, just hold that little section in. So use the mousse, but use it sparingly, and use your, let's have a look at our little style there, and use when you curl the hair, I would normally use the Infinium. I'd use a little bit of Style and Care lotion as a heat protector, sorry. And then I would use the Infinium and curl the hair and pin curl it in. And if she's got a style, the hair really doesn't want to hold curl, then what you might want to do is, when you curl the hair, even with the Infinium on there, is pin it up a section as you curl it, pin those sections up so that they're cool in the curl, so that when it comes out, it will be a little bit too curly, but it will give it a little bit of time and space to allow it to drop a little bit. So yeah, just be careful. If the mousse goes a bit funny, maybe you need to try a different mousse, and don't use too much. Let's try a little accessory in here. So hopefully that helped, Louisa. So yeah, mousse, not too much on dry hair. And then once you've got that hair dry, I'm just going to use a little bobby pin. There's a lot of pins and things in here. And I'm not using a bobby pin, I'm using a hairpin. Let me just show you, to help me to nudge this comb in. That's better, in place. Gorgeous. So we've got our little soft, smooth, low bun, which you could just do with pinning in here a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Much better, with a little accessory, little roll with a little extra detail there that we've created with the ends of the hair. She has a little soft bit down on one side, but I definitely would need to recurl that. And I usually, to be honest, recurl these little bits that are coming down. She could have some on both sides. I'd usually recurl those with the straighteners. Let's check those questions again. Let's have a look. Louisa, sometimes the hair goes very dull when depending on the mousse that you use. And she had fine, limp hair. Probably what I would do, could you let me know what style, if you send me an email separately, and let me know what style she wanted, then I can get back to you. And maybe it might be the case, if she wants a bit of volume, maybe you could tong the hair and put some rollers in the top, but tong the hair at the back, pin it all up so that it's got, the best chance possible to hold that curl. Sometimes it just doesn't want to hold a curl, and you'd be better off maybe making her a soft, messy bun, so that so if the curls are pinned up a little bit and the weight of the hair is lifted and secured, then the curls will last longer. If she hasn't got long curls, she's got more kind of lots of soft little bits kind of maybe tumbling out of the bun, if that's what she wanted. But just email me separately, Louisa. I think you've got the email address. Louisa's one of our online bridal hair students, and send me some pictures and I'll be able to give you some advice. Then I know exactly what it is you were trying to work with. So yeah, definitely get in touch. Let's have a look. She tonged and crimped the root. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Crimping can make the hair look dull, because of course you're giving the hair that little bit of, you're taking the smoothness away from the hair. So then it does tend to look dull. So one thing you can do if you want to avoid that is to maybe use a little tiny bit of texturizing powder at the root, but not on the front sections, or maybe crimp it kind of further back, but don't crimp the front section so you can cover it if she wants it smooth and glossy. And if all else fails, you can always put a little bit of shine spray on. I find that the styling care lotion gives the hair a gorgeous gloss when you're working with kind of dull, lifeless hair. So this is a great product, the Silhouette Styling Care Lotion. It's a great heat protector, gives the hair shine and gloss, gets rid of flyaways, does almost everything. But thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you like our style this evening. If you've got any styles that you would like to learn, just, get in touch. If you want any information about our online bridal hair course, again, just send me some questions, send me an email, or you can get in touch with me via YouTube, and I will get back to you. So thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope you've enjoyed the style, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.